Make a note. 0504. Hi, my name is Julia. This is the fucking yoga company, Yoga for the Rest of Us. All of the benefits, none of the bullshit. That's fitness bullshit. None of the fitness bullshit. There's quite a bit of bullshit here. It just doesn't have anything to do with yoga or Pilates or calisthenics or anything. This is mat Pilates, so we're going to work on the core. This is all core workout. I'm listening to some instrumental music. I just want to keep this, I want to keep my brain slightly distracted, but I also want it to focus in on what I'm doing here. So, and where I want my attention to be. Does that make sense? It's like wiggling if you've ever had a tattoo or you get a shot, you wiggle your toes those days, but that's what we're doing. All right. So let's see. What are we doing today? We're going to be doing, we're going to work on imprints. We're going to do some toe touches. Let's see. This is some bridge with some chest lifts. We'll do some flutter kicks. We're going to try a little rollover prep. I am real weak. I'm just out there. I'm not in the same fitness level that I was pre-COVID. And so I'm coming back from this. So my rollovers, I have no rollover game. So I'm going to use you could use a pillow or you could roll up a blanket. I'm going to use this. Oh, I got to fill this up. I'm going to use this Pilates stability ball. I got to fill that up today. So that as a support to get me into a better position for that. So I'll put that right here. Needs inflated. Let's see what else. We'll do, we're going to do some chest lifts with some rotation. And then we will do, we'll do some supine twist. Yeah, I got this. We got this. Yeah, we got this. All right. Grab a bottle of water. Make yourself comfortable. It's a little chilly in here, but we're going to get moving pretty quickly. So let's do this. Let's do it. Pilates is all about learning to control your core. And I didn't even start my timer again. So now I'm at 7. Okay, so that's cool. I'm all over the map this morning. Because you know why I'm all over the map this morning? Because my spouse actually did something I asked him to do, and now it's thrown my game off. I did have to throw a fit to get that done, but you know what? I got to figure out how to maintain this new flow. So be careful what you wish for. Sorry. All right. Coming to our backs. Oh, I gotta fix this clip because I'm laying in the wrong spot for it. Releasing feet to the mat. I want you to line up your knees. I want you to your this is the, what is this? This is the ischial spine. It's the edge of your pelvic bone, your pelvic bone. And you want to take the blade of your hand, the pinky, and run it up the femur and feel like that is a straight path. And then to the knee, imagine the tibia running right in balance between the big toe and the second toe. Those phalanges. All right. And I'm going to bring my hands into cactus just because it feels really good in this. It's a good stretch in my shoulder. You can rest your hands on your ribs. That is a lovely cue to remind you to do all the zip up and tuck that rib cage down. So let's work on the zip up, speaking of that. And then we'll do some tilts, and then we'll do some toe touches, and then we'll run into our bridges. So pull that low part of the transverse abdominis together. It kind of draws to the center of your body. Belly button tucks a little deeper toward the spine. Ribs might be flared. I want you to give me a big exhale. This tuck of the ribs is what I want you to maintain. This is, outside of the pelvic cradle, which we'll talk about in a minute, I think this is the most challenging for most people to get as you start this Pilates journey, is this tuck of the ribs. Now pull the pelvic floor up and in. The pelvic floor is the muscle that controls urination. So if you're struggling to find that, feel free to go pee and then stop, and that'll be that. It's a draw. Whoop. And that's your Pilates zip up. Little rock side to side. We want to keep all the energy in the core. I want you to keep it out of your chin, no flinching your teeth, right? Just give your nose a little wiggle, unclench the jaw. And then we breathe. You can hear I'm taking these small, shallow breaths so that I can talk, because I'm compressing my torso and I'm activating my diaphragm against the normal rhythm. Your diaphragm operates to, I don't want to say something that I'm not 100% sure of right at this moment. I haven't had coffee. Your diaphragm is one of the big breathing muscles, and if we're activating it to keep everything maintained and tight, it's hard to breathe. So we inhale and exhale. And each time you exhale, use that exhale to tuck those ribs a little deeper, to scoop the belly a little more hollow, and to make sure everything's zipped up. All right, we're going to do our pelvic tilts. Inhale and exhale. Now this is just a rock of the hips up, and then we're releasing. It's the tiniest of movements. Feel like you're going from the right at the waist to the tailbone, and that you're rolling through that full, it's your SI joint. It's the extension of your spine. It is not fused, but it is tightly packed in there. And engage the core. Now, I just noticed that I was working so hard to keep my Pilates zip up that I was letting my legs flippy flop. And that means that I was pushing into my feet to make this pelvic tilt happen. This is a contraction of the core muscles to rock that tilt of the tailbone. I'm not pushing in my feet, pushing into my feet. This is all about these muscles right here. So if you feel your knees flippy floppy, you're pushing into your feet, and we don't want to do that. We will push into our feet when we start to do a bridge, but not right now. 2 more. I'm really working on keeping these ribs tucked, even when I relax that engagement for the tilt. And release. Okay, lengthen one leg. Lengthen the other leg. Now I'm generating a lot of heat in that glute minor. Maybe transverse abdominis insertion. Also, I'm really hungry, so that might be distracting me. All right, so I'm going to move my feet out. Nice, comfortable angle. And we're going to work a little toe touching. Now, we're going to work asymmetrically, so we don't need to support our low back. But I want you to imagine locking the angle of your knee right where it's at. Okay? We're going to lift that leg, and then we're going to drop that leg. Let's lower that leg. We're going to lift the leg, and then we're going to lower the leg. And there are 2 ways for you to work the placement of the feet. And if you get a cramp, you're going to have to change. So the first one is the one I just showed you, where our feet are just neutral and we're just lowering. The other one is if you come into the tippy toes. So you're going to touch, it's a toe touch. So I'm just going to come to that space between the ball of my foot and the pad of my toe. And then I'm going to lift and lower. And I want to float my toe on the mat. So it's slightly lifted. So it's a stronger engagement. So that's what I mean when I say, if that is too strong of a move for you, go back to the neutral foot. All right. Pull the pelvic floor. That's how you amp up the strength of this exercise. here we go. Pull the pelvic floor up and in. Low belly. Belly button, ribs. Inhale and exhale. I'm going to go right leg up. Hold. Take a sip of breath. And exhale down. Inhale. Exhale, left knee up. Hold. Take a sip of breath and exhale down. Now notice, I'm not moving fast. I'm not throwing my knee up. I'm controlling the body weight. I'm using the weight of that leg as a lever. So let's see, this is a 3, 2, 1 count. Mississippi. 3, 2, 1. So 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. That's it. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. That's the count. If you're just throwing your leg up, you're not going to get the benefit of the weight. Gravity in this case is our friend, even though generally gravity is a dick. Little tuck of the chin. I felt my neck. Your neck, your shoulders, your face, they all want to help. So I had to tuck my chin to take my neck out of it. And try to imagine not moving the thigh past that 90-degree point. Directly perpendicular to the mat. And release. Woo! Take a little tilt of the pelvis. Let those knees relax open. Oof! Maybe take a little sway side to side. Big hip, 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 hip. That's not what I was going to say. Big hip heat. That's what I was going to say. All right, moving the heels closer to the glutes. We're going to take our bridge. And bridge in Pilates is opposite of the bridge that we do in yoga. So the bridge in yoga is all about the stretching. The bridge in Pilates is all about the core. So the breathing is opposite. We're going to inhale on the mat and exhale as we lift because we want to engage in this contraction, right, to help lift those hips. We'll hold at the top, take a sip of breath, and then exhale down as we activate the core to slow our body. So in Pilates, in yoga we inhale up to use the lungs to stretch the spine. And then we exhale down, of course, to stretch the back. So, not to stretch the spine. We're not stretching the spine. That was terrible phraseology, and I bitch all about it all the time. We're using the breath to stretch the intercostals along the rib cage and lengthen through the QLs. That's more appropriate language. And then as we exhale, we're deepening that stretch, right? Because we're curling the spine. This is all about the core, baby. All about the core. This floppy core. That's what we're doing. That's not never mind. All right, so I'm going to go into my cactus pose just because it helps me. But if you're in this position and you start feeling yourself pushing your elbows into the mat to help, don't do that. Bring your biceps closer and your elbows to your ribs. Rest your fingertips here. And then you can press more effectively into the shoulder blades, right? Rather than using the arms to take that weight up. So I want you to feel your shoulder blades flat on the mat. Little tuck of the chin. Pull the pelvic floor up and in. Low belly, belly button, ribs. Inhale to prepare. And here we go. Exhale. So we're going into the heels. Lift for that pelvic tilt. Lift, 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 lift. I'm pushing into the heels and squeezing glutes. And that's where I'm at. Inhale, exhale. Now I'm using the core. I'm going to hollow out, hollow out, hollow out. to make the tailbone the last thing to touch. And double check your zip up. Inhale. And take a sip of air. Exhale. So note, this is not a big hip thrust like we would do in yoga. Again, it's not about the stretching. This is about activating the core and lifting the hips and really using the energy focus in the core. Kind of tuck my chin, my neck kind of sneaking in there to try to help me do the work. The dogs are losing their minds. I hope you can't hear them. It's been raining, so they've been cooped up, and we haven't gone for walks because it's like sink into your ankles, muddy. So they're a little wound up. Two more. And last one. Ooh, take a big inhale. Oh, give those knees a squeeze. Are you feeling it? I'm feeling it. Oh, 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 oh. I'm going to tuck my fingertips behind my knees and roll up because I want a sip of water. All right. Here we go. So we're going to do flutter kicks, and then we're going to come back to the bridge and do the bridge with a chest lift. Is that what this says? Oh, yeah. Okay. And then we'll do our rotate. We'll do our attempt at a rollover, which is without a strap at the head of your mat. A rollover is really rough, but we're going to try it. It's really meant to do on a tower bed, and a tower bed is cushioned and it has a strap here. So anyway, we're gonna give it a little shot. It's basically a reverse crunch, a hip lift. This is a very heavy hip to lift, just saying. All right, we're gonna go flutter kicks. So I am going to support my low back because we're going to take our legs off the mat in tandem. And when we do that, right, we need to support our low back. In an ideal, there's a wedge. It's a triangular wedge. I don't know, did you go to school, to grade school in the 70s? Because I did. And we had those. Do you remember those foam blocks? I don't know if they did it later in gym. Or maybe it was in recess. I'm not sure when it was. I got to actually change this blanket completely because I don't want to be on the fringe. Anyway, in the 70s, there was this, it was gym, and I think it was gym, and you had all these different shapes of foam, cushioned blocks, like building blocks. Anyway, there's a triangular one that's what this always makes me think of whenever I see anybody who has those Pilates. It's a Pilates wedge, but all right. So I want to support my hips. I want a little tilt of the hips, a manufactured tilt of the hips, right? because we're going to imprint, but this is kind of an automatic imprint. It helps support and protect your back. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I'm just really tired today. Open up those shoulder blades. Okay. Pull the pelvic floor up and in. Low belly, belly button, ribs. So I've got my Pilates zip up. And I want you to tuck your waistband toward into that blanket. Now, you can tell, I can tell, that I don't have very far to go because the blanket's there, right? So it's a supportive imprint. If we were on the mat, we would have to be holding this imprint on the mat, and we would be doing it without the benefit of this wedge, and the hips wouldn't be lifted. It's really hard to maintain, and I don't want any strain on your low back, all right? So I'm going to open up my arms. Again, if you feel yourself digging into the mat with your elbows, bring your biceps in and just rest your hands on your belly. And we're going to go one leg up and the other leg up. All right. So we're going to come down, and I just want you to take a little kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. Exhale. Bring those knees, or, the legs a little closer to the body. Inhale. Exhale. Drop them a little lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And now, and this flutter, that's the breathing. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Oh, and bring it in. Now, notice I couldn't breathe. I couldn't talk during that one because I had to focus and breathe. Woo! That's piriformis. That's glute med. That's transverse abdominis. Oh, obliques. Take a sway to one side. Take a sway to the other side. Tilt up and release. Okay. Bring those. Oh, you know what? I'm going to change the roll up. My brain is just really like, we are not doing that roll up. We are not doing that roll up. I'm going to change it because I know I just don't have the strength for it. And there's no point in pushing into something that you just don't have the strength for because you will injure yourself. So we will do our bridge with our chest lifts. We're going to do we just did that. I'm going to do a different thing. We're going to do a bridge knee lift. So, and that's going to be, it's kind of a modification of the bridge rollover prep. Oh, let me get this blanket out from underneath me. So if you move your towel or whatever you used to support yourself. All right. Moving those heels a little closer. Now I am everybody's gonna bring your arms up to this cactus position and then tucking my fingers right up against the side of my head. Pull the pelvic floor up and in, low belly, belly button, ribs. So inhale, we're exhaling. We're going to take our lift. Inhale, exhale, little chest lift. Just, oh my goodness. And come down and release. Okay, let's work on the breathing. Check your Pilates zip up. And roll up, exhale. Hold, inhale. Chest lift, exhale. Inhale, lower, inhale, release. Oh my goodness. That was 2. We've got 6. 4 more. No, it's just the tiniest of lifts. I'm not reaching my chin. I'm not using my head at all, actually. Pilates zip up, inhale, exhale. I'm just lifting those shoulders. I'm compressing the ribs a little more closely toward my belly button. That was halfway. Your head really wants to lift. Did you see my chin? My neck and head try to go a little bit deeper. I'm going to figure out how to take that out of the equation. We have 2 more. Pilates zip up. Inhale. Just the shoulders and the ribs. It's just, I mean, you could put a finger maybe below your shoulder as you lift. And down. Woo! Hug those knees. Little sway. Ho, 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 ho. Gonna leave a mark. Okay. So we're gonna do a little knee curl. And this is, so a roll up is like we're gonna lift our hips and move in a perfect form. In perfect form. We engage the core, we're lifting the hips with the core, we're taking our toes and touching the mat barely behind us, inhaling, and then we're going to lift those legs and then lower the body in control, right? With no flopping. It's really hard. It's really hard. It's challenging. You can do it on a reformer. You can do it on a tower because you have a strap. Strap is very helpful in that instance to provide counter pressure. Because you can take your forearms below that strap and really anchor your shoulders into the mat without, doing a lot of it. It's just helpful. I can't explain how it helps. Anyway, we don't have a tower. I don't have a tower. I don't have a reformer. And I don't even have a springboard because I had to buy a lawnmower. Anyway, and a camera. So we're going to do kind of a run up to it. We were going to do a roll up prep, which would involve lifting. I'll show you the rollover prep and then I'll show you the modification. Don't worry about this. This is just explanation. So my rollover prep, right? You can see how this would be very, very helpful as a prep position, right? Because I want to lift my hips and reach my toes over, which I can't do. And then I can lower down. Engage the core. Inhale. Exhale. Lift those hips. It's just what we did with our pelvic tilt. Right? Only there's a lot more lifting going on. Actually, I could use my smaller one. That might be more helpful. Anyway, it's a lot of work without a strap, and then I'm calling it. So the modification that we're going to do is this knee lift. All right. So open up those shoulders, pelvic cradle, pelvic floor, low belly, belly button, ribs. Inhale. Exhale, we're pushing up for that pelvic tilt, scooping up. Let's call it a scoop up. I'm holding. Inhale. Now scoop the knee toward the rib cage. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And roll down. See how we're doing that? Yeah, that was a rough one. So, in fact, it's similar to the chest lift in that we're amping up the pelvic tilt. But it's kind of the opposite side of the body, right? Inhaling, pelvic floor. low belly, rib cage. Inhale to prepare and exhale. All right, I'm holding. Take a step. I'm going to lift, scoop it, and lower. So you want to stabilize the body on the right side. You want to really, I'm staying in my heel. I'm not pressing into the hole of my foot. That was 2. That was 1. Let's do 3 more. This is a rough one. All right, pelvic floor, low belly, belly button, ribs. Hold, take a sip of breath. All right, I want you to scoop the knee. Inhaling and lower down. Inhale, double check your pelvic floor and low belly. Zip it up. And run down. Let's do 2 more. Let's do 3 more. It's just feeling good. The imagery, the focus that I want you to have is right here. I want you to imagine scooping deeper through the one side to get the top of the leg closer to the rib cage. Rather than scooping, like lifting the knee, right? Think about hollowing out. I know that sounds, that's the only image I have that I can convey to you, because that's what I'm trying to do with my core. Are we doing 3 more? Yes, we are. Pelvic floor, low belly, belly button, ribs. Inhale, pelvic tilt. Inhale, and now scoop. And come down. Check the pelvic floor, belly button, ribs. Inhale. I'm starting to get a cramp in my pec. It's because my arms are, I'm going to move my biceps in closer. Inhale. And release. 2 more. Double check your Pilates zip up. My right side is stronger than my left. Or maybe my left side is stronger than my right. And I'm just stabilizing more. I don't know. Pelvic floor. This is the last one. Low belly, belly button, ribs. Exhale. And go down. Holy Toledo. Ooh, bring those knees up and in. Little rock side to side. Tuck those fingertips behind the knees. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, take a forward fold. I'm going to grab some water. We're doing okay. What I'm asking you to do is hard. So if you're not feeling it 100%, or you're not sure you're doing it right, or you're not, I don't know, there's all these things that are going on. Just keep moving. We're going to move a little forward. If you don't feel it, it's really hard, I will say this, to find your core. Those deep core muscles are hard to find because we ignore them a lot. And especially if you've had a baby, they are kind of beat up. They've taken a hit. Right? So if you had a baby or a hernia, men, you have hernia sometimes problems. That's because you're not utilizing those deep core muscles, right? Excuse me. So let us give our core a break. Give it some grace. All right, we're going to go to do some supine twists. And then we're going to do, so again, we're going to work upper body, lower body. And then, wow, that might take us into, we'll do some stretching. Here we go, coming down to the mat. All right. So this is going to be both a stretch and some core work. So it's going to feel really good on those places we've just warmed up and asked to do some work. And it's going to, but we're still going to be working the core. So that's why we're doing this. Scooch those heels as close to the glutes as you can get them, and then glue the insides of your legs together, okay? I want you to recognize that we're going to be peeling feet off the mat. I want you to keep the feet in parallel. So we're not lifting and lowering the feet. We're just going to rock over edge to edge. And I want you to press all those things together. Pull the pelvic floor up and in, low belly, belly button, ribs. Inhale. And exhale, we're going to go over to the left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Take an inhale. And now we're coming back up. 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we're going to go to the other side. Double check the Pilates pull up or zip up. And I'm using the core here to control the weight of the legs. 1. Now we're going 45 degrees at first because we want to warm up in this direction and we want to give those muscles a chance to release some of their tension. Each time we come back to center, double check that Pilates zip up. Okay, now we're going to go to 6 and take it a little bit further than the 45 degrees we just did. So we did 4 there. We're going to come down a little bit deeper. Hold, scoop the belly, and come up. Now you're feeling that oblique stretch. You might have been feeling that the first time around because I was. And that oblique stretch is going to go up over the top of the hip and stretch a little into that piriformis, just a tiny bit. A little bit into that glute med. We hold, scoop everything up and in. All right, now we're going to go 8 counts. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, reach. 1, scoop as best you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, reach. 1. Scoop as best you can. I had to take a little extra sip of air there. 2 more. Stretch, 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 stretch. And come on back. Whew, relax that out. Give those knees a little squeeze. Rock and roll the ankles. Wiggle the toes. Point and flex the feet. Okay. Woo. All right. A rotation here. So this is a prep for the Pilates bicycle. And the Pilates bicycle, ooh, my finger. It's killing me. It's all right, I'm going to start No, I'm going to baby it. All right. The Pilates bicycle is, everybody knows what the bicycle is, but everyone does it too fast. And so we're just going to do the upper portion of the bicycle today, and we're going to slow it down. And the foundation of a Pilates bicycle is the chest lift. So we're going to inhale. Actually, let's do our Pilates zip up. Inhale, exhale, chest lift. Hold. All right. So the back of my head still in alignment with my spine. My chin and face are relaxed. And this is a lot of work. And then I'm going to turn to touch the elbow and the right. I'm going to lift my right elbow a little higher. I'm going to come back to center. And then I'm going to lift my left elbow a little higher. And come back to center. And then roll down. That's it. So, and each time you move, the pause is an inhale, right? Double check your Pilates zip up. And exhale. Take a sip of air. And rotate. Tiny little rotation. And it's not about your head. I did just make it about my head. And come down. Pilates zip up. Inhale. Exhale. I want to make it about the shoulder. There it is. And check your Pilates zip up. Pelvic floor is the one that's going to drop out in this one because you can't help but contract everything else as you lift. And down. Ooh, take a hold. We have 2 more. I got to take a minute. Just a breath. All right. 2 more. Reset. Pelvic floor, low belly, belly button, ribs. Inhale to prepare. Here we go. And 1 more. I'm trying to keep my head out of it. I mean, your head's going for a ride, right? Like you can't turn your whole upper body right without turning your head. But what I mean is I'm not looking, right? My neck is everything's. I want to keep everything in balance with the upper body. Rolling up. Oh. Woo! Let's do some C curving, and then we're gonna stretch. All right, tucking back a little bit into staff pose. Nice big lift. Let's just reach out. Oh, right there. Yes, we're stretching. Oh, yes. Take a little sway to one side. Sway to the other. Coming on up. Ooh, howdy. Inhaling. Let's do that again. Release. Sway to one side. Sway to the other. And unwind. Let's do that one more time. Right up those QLs, transverse abdominis. There's probably some latissimus dorsi insertion going on there. Woo! All right, bring the soles of the feet together, little rock side to side. Hands at the shins. I want you to get tall first. Rock those shoulders back. And now just draw yourself down a little bit so that you can touch maybe just your forearms or your elbows to the thighs. Say hello to those adductors. Holy Toledo. They do a lot of stabilizing work. I'm going to rock my head side to side. I've got some. Woo! Feel intense right there. And come on up. Woo! Bring the feet to the mat. Hook the hands, interlace your fingers behind the thighs, and then take a C curve. Hang out here for a minute. And let's come back. Soles of the feet together. Hands are somewhere along the shins. Drop the shoulders. Get nice and tall. And I'm pulling myself up and away from the legs first. And then I'm going to come a little forward. All right, bring those legs up. Interlace the fingers behind your legs and then hang into that curve. And let's take a little fold. Woo! All right, Chihuahua. All right, we're going to do some lateral extension. Oh. Ooh, nice big reach on up. And right there, right here. Getting a cramp in my foot. And switch. Woo! I'm going to change the placement of my feet. And do that again. Oh, big reach. Oh. Actually, I'm going to keep my arms down. My shoulders are feeling very tense. Nice big reach on up. Take it down. And just a little fold here. Ooh! We did it. We did it. We did it. Oofta, oofta, oofta. I'm calling it. We really worked hard today. My name is Julia. This is the fucking yoga company. Yoga for the rest of us. All of the benefits, none of the bullshit. This wasn't even yoga. It was Pilates. But you know what? We'll be walking around all day feeling a little taller. Ladies and gentlemen, people. Let's just do people. You know, ladies and gentlemen thing is bullshit. Cultural constructs. Just can't. Please take a moment to email. Just take 5 minutes. Google, you can go find my rep or something. It's a website. Just put your zip in. You're going to get a list of the reps that you have. We have fucking Bobert. And I don't know if I want to start poking that bear just to be, irritating. But I forget the other guy. There's 2. Michael Bennett, of course, and he's really sick of hearing from me, I'm sure. You're going to get a form letter response. Listen, make a phone call, leave a message, talk to somebody. We must protect the rule of law. We must protect the court systems. We have to do it. And here's somebody, I saw this, I don't remember where I saw this. It was probably on the Instagram. If you remove one group's rights, what you've done is you've removed everybody's rights but it doesn't necessarily affect you. And then there's a big fat Y-E-T. Yet. Doesn't affect you. Yet. Okay? You just try to remember when you're like, well, you know, my life hasn't changed that much. It will change drastically. We have to protect everybody. There's more than enough to go around if we would just tax the fucking billionaires. And they just, like, you've got to stop this big fucking beautiful pile of shit bill. We've got to stop it. So take a minute. You know, write a form letter. It doesn't take much. Sign a petition. Make a phone call and leave a voicemail. Do it. Ciao, Bellas. Ciao. Ciao, ciao. Stop recording.